wonder how Apple gets people to pay $1,000 for an iPhone while other brands struggle to sell at half the price? Or why Starbucks can charge $5 for a coffee when you could make one at home for cents? It all comes down to one thing: understanding willingness to pay. The concept that can make or break your pricing strategy, and with it, your product. Hi, my name is Lisa, and in this video, we're unpacking willingness to pay, an essential concept for any product professional. We'll break down what WTP is, how to measure it, and most importantly, how to use it to set better prices, maximize revenue, and build products people love. What is willingness to pay? Most companies focus on cost-plus pricing, taking what it costs to make a product and adding a markup. Others just copy competitors' prices. But the most successful companies, they price based on what customers are actually willing to pay. Willingness to pay, or WTP, is the maximum price someone is willing to spend on a product or service. And it's not just about premium consumer brands like Apple or Starbucks. Take Slack, for example. When they started, businesses were used to paying for enterprise messaging tools upfront. But Slack's team understood that companies were willing to pay more for a tool that boosted productivity, integrated seamlessly, and reduced email clutter. So instead of charging a flat fee, they introduced per-user pricing, allowing companies to pay based on usage, matching their WTP. This strategy helped Slack grow to millions of paying users. So if you're a product manager, understanding WTP can mean the difference between underpricing and losing revenue, or overpricing and driving customers away. So how do you figure out what people are actually willing to pay? That's what we're diving into next. How to calculate WTP. So how do you actually measure willingness to pay? Well, you can't just ask your consumers outright. Most people aren't going to be honest and even aware of their true WTP. But product managers and pricing experts have developed several powerful methods to uncover it. Let's break down 4 of these most effective ones. Conjoint analysis. Predicting choices before they happen. How do you decide which features belong in which tier? Conjoint analysis helps by presenting customers with different feature price combinations and measuring their preferences. For example, let's say you're pricing a project management software. You show one group a plan that includes basic features for $20 per user, another group a plan with premium integrations for $50, and a third group for a full feature suite for $80. By analyzing which plans get picked most often, you can estimate what users are actually willing to pay for each feature. This method is widely used in enterprise software pricing because it reveals which features drive the most value and which ones customers won't pay extra for. Direct surveys. Ask, but ask smartly. Surveys can work, but you have to ask the right questions. Instead of directly asking, how much would you pay, a better approach is the Van Westendorp price sensitivity model. Here you ask 4 key questions. At what price is this product so cheap you'd question its quality? At what price is it getting expensive but still worth considering? What price is it too expensive to even consider? And at what price is it priced fairly for what it offers? By plotting these answers across many respondents, you can pinpoint a pricing range that aligns with real customers' perceptions. When Zapier wanted to refine its pricing, it used surveys to uncover that customers were willing to pay more for premium integrations rather than more automation tasks. This insight helped them adjust their pricing strategy. Behavioral data. What your customers are already telling you. Numbers don't lie. One of the best ways to estimate willingness to pay is by analyzing real purchasing behavior. For example, look at conversion rates at different price points. If a product sells well at $50, but demand drops significantly at $70, you can infer that most customers' willingness to pay is somewhere in between. Another great signal: upsell success rates. If customers consistently upgrade to a more expensive plan, it means their willingness to pay is higher than your base pricing. A great example of this is HubSpot. They noticed that many small businesses were upgrading to premium plans sooner than expected, which signaled that their willingness to pay was higher than the initial pricing assumed. This helped them optimize their pricing tiers. A/B testing, the ultimate real-world test. If you want the most reliable WTP data, nothing beats real-world experiments. A/B testing different price points on different audience segments lets you measure how actual buying behavior changes with price. For example, If you're launching a new AI-powered writing tool, you could show Group A a price of $25 a month, show Group B a price of $35 a month. Compare conversion rates to see which price point maximizes revenue. Companies like Notion and Figma have used A/B testing when rolling out new pricing models, ensuring they hit the right WTP before making big pricing decisions. By combining these methods, conjoint analysis, smart surveys, behavioral data, and A/B testing, you can pinpoint exactly what your customers are willing to pay. But willingness to pay isn't just about setting the right price. It also plays a huge role in product development, competitor strategy, and long-term business growth. So before we wrap up, let's talk about how to apply WTP to real-world pricing strategies and the biggest mistakes to avoid. Applying willingness to pay to pricing strategy. Now that you know how to estimate willingness to pay, let's talk about how to apply it to your pricing strategy. Remember, WTP is about more than just avoiding overpricing or underpricing. It's about aligning your product's value with your customer's perception of that value. One of the best ways to do this is through value-based pricing. Unlike cost-plus pricing, which sets prices based on your production costs, value-based pricing focuses on the perceived value your product delivers to the customer. The goal? Price your product based on what customers are willing to pay for the benefits they receive, not just the cost to make it. For instance, let's say you run a B2B SaaS company offering a time tracking tool. If your customers believe the tool will save them hundreds of hours each month, their willingness to pay could be significantly higher than the cost of your product. By aligning your pricing with that value, say $100 per month for a plan that saves them 10 hours a week, you not only ensure your price reflects their WTP, but you are also maximizing your revenue. But here's the catch. Willingness to pay isn't static. It can change depending on things like market conditions, customer preferences, and even competitors' actions. For example, during a downturn, customers might be more price sensitive, which can lower their willingness to pay for non-essential features. In this case, you may need to adjust pricing to maintain demand without losing value. But there are a few common WTP-related mistakes to watch out for. Underpricing. This is a big one. You might think you're being competitive, but if you set your price too low, you're leaving money on the table. Trello, for example, initially offered a free product, but soon introduced a premium model to capture more of their users' willingness to pay. Overpricing. On the other hand, charging too much can scare off potential customers. If Zoom charged $100 for its basic plan when it started, it's unlikely it would have gained the massive adoption it has today. Understanding your audience's WTP helps avoid these costly mistakes. Ignoring customer feedback. Willingness to pay is dynamic. If you don't regularly revisit it, you risk pricing yourself out of the market. Keep testing, collecting data, and adjusting your strategy as needed. Understanding willingness to pay is one of the most powerful tools in a product manager's toolkit. By estimating WTP, you can optimize pricing, guide product development, and ensure you're aligning with your customers' expectations. And remember, pricing is an ongoing process. Regularly revisit your willingness to pay data and pricing models to stay in tune with changes in the market. Whether you're in B2B or B2C, willingness to pay gives you the insights needed to price your product for success. If you want to learn more about willingness to pay, look out for the link in the description box for our complete deep dive on the topic. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.